Alright, guys, so I just finished watching The Woman King, or I think it's just called Woman King. I really fucking hate when people add a the in front of the movie and there's no the. I'm pretty sure it's called Woman King. I just finished watching it. I just came from the theater and I have so many fucking thoughts. I have so many thoughts. So I'm not gonna, be utilizing any spoilers just yet. So don't worry if you haven't seen it yet. I do want to urge you to go fucking watch it. Oh my god, go fucking watch it. So I'm just gonna fucking jump right into my thoughts. And sorry if this is the most dramatic thing you've ever heard, but I felt my soul fucking heal watching that movie. I felt my soul fucking heal. I felt my soul heal watching that movie. So, you probably don't know this, but I'm a black woman, okay? I'm an American black woman. And as an American black woman, we have such a unique experience in this country. Obviously, the movie takes place in Africa, right? But in America, we have such a fucking unique experience. To quote Malcolm X, the most disrespected person in America is the black woman. The most unprotected person in America is the black woman. You have to extend that to the rest of the world as well, right? As a black woman, I just felt so connected to the struggle. Now, let me first say that I am one of those people who think that black women should get more diverse roles in mass media. I am a person who believes that we get a lot of I'm a warrior representation, right? We get a lot of battle or, struggle love, hood love, struggle in general. We get a lot of representation like that. Like even our Disney princess, right? Had to be some hard worker, workity work, break your back, 2 jobs, woo. So we have so many societal, media, the culture is to shoulder all of this responsibility, everything be on the black woman's back. I don't need no man, Miss Independent, etc., etc., etc. Wakandan warrior. We get a lot of representation like that. And this does, I would say, fall into the category of that. And as black people, I do think we love to see stuff like this. We eat it up. And 2 things can be true at once. I acknowledge that this sort of representation, when it's pushed and pushed and pushed and pushed and there's no balance, it could be hard as a black woman, especially if you're more soft and on the gentler side, to see yourself in what's being presented in the media. It can be hard to view yourself in that lens. If that's all you're seeing in the media, it can be easy to lose yourself to the stereotype, right? Wakandan warrior, woman king now. I just want it to be known that I'm aware that we have a lot of representation like this, but it works so well in this movie. It works so well, and I'm gonna break down why. But before I get into that, I would obviously be getting into spoilers. So let me just say my filtered thoughts first. The action, 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. The action is great. The fight scenes literally brought me back to Game of Thrones. Like I really felt like I was watching Battle of the Bastards, right? I thought I was looking at the Red Wedding, right? I was like blown away. And I'm a stickler. I'm one of those people who just be staring at the action, at the gore, at whatever, to really make sure that it looks realistic. And if I see some shit where it looks like, oh, yeah, I'm gonna punch near your ear and then you flip your head to the side, ha ha ha, I punched you. I'm on the lookout for shit like that constantly. If it's super obvious, I'm constantly on the lookout for stuff like that. There is nothing like that in this film. There is nothing like that in this film. Everything is so perfectly choreographed. It literally looks like a Game of Thrones battle. Kudos to the fucking team for that, because I was on the edge of my seat. And like I've explained before, I'm one of those annoying bitches who try and guess the movie before it plays out. And there was a lot of that. And not to say it was super predictable or anything, but a few things I caught on to. And that's your reward. You know, if you're paying attention to a movie, it is your reward as someone who's paying attention to be able to, you know, think of the next logical thing that could happen. And a couple times I was right. And a couple times I was wrong. And it was really good subversion. So like your expectations get subverted in such a good, fulfilling way. It's just such a good movie. The emotional weight, especially if you're a Black person, not just Black woman, any Black person or anybody who knows anything about history, watching this is a fucking gut-wrenching, emotionally gripping tale. It is so fucking gripping, bro. And some of the callbacks to the trauma, any number of people could fucking just watch this movie and melt into an emotional breakdown at any aspect of it, because there is so much going on, but I mean that in the best possible way. It is so good. It is so good. And I was gonna be one of those people, oh, I'm not gonna watch Woman is King because it puts, you know, the warrior label on Black women again. What, you know, where's the balance? Some Black women want to be soft and dainty. I do think that, you know, two things can be true at once, right? It does show this warrior Black woman, but at the same time, it's such a good and emotionally gripping story. And not, okay, I'm not gonna lie and say not in the traumatic way, because it is traumatic, because it takes us all the way back to slavery. And there's a couple scenes where it's just like, that is fucking triggering. As a Black American, that is very triggering. There are so many scenes like that. I just want to say the cinematography was great in some certain points. There's a few like scenes where the cinematography was just so beautiful. It's giving very much two Disney movies. Now, one would be a spoiler, so I'm gonna wait and say that, but it's definitely very much giving Mulan. And once you watch the movie, or if you've seen it, you definitely know what I mean by it's giving Mulan. But if you don't know, I will elaborate further when I get to spoiler. Anyway, after the movie was over, we looked up the main actress because she looks like she's 15. We looked her up. Oh my God, why is she 31? Like, Black don't crack, bitch. Black don't crack, you know? Fucking Viola Davis did a fucking amazing, phenomenal job. She did so fucking good. And that's the thing. Whenever you're watching a Viola Davis movie or show, you know you're gonna get top A1 quality. You know you're gonna get A1, perfect delivery, emotional weight, face, body, mannerisms. You're gonna get everything, because that's how good of an actress she is. She puts her all into the role, and you could just see it. You can feel it. You feel like you're there. Oh my God, I felt everything. And with all of that being said, definitely make sure you go to the theater, watch it, and then come back to this video. Shameless plug. Watch time. But no, for real though, go to the theater and watch it. If you're thinking about watching it, if you're just curious, make sure you go watch it. And with all that being said, this concludes the spoiler-free territory. Now we're gonna get into the spoilers. So our story starts off, right, with this girl. Her father's trying to sell her to a man for some cows or some gold or whatever the fuck. And he's like 60. He's like old as fuck. And she's like, I'm not doing it, no. And he has a terrible attitude. He slaps her and she's like, absolutely not. She pushes him. So I'm not gonna get married to no old ass dirt nugget bitch. Fuck you. Like, what are you talking about? She shoves him, and her dad's like, okay, well, if you're not gonna be a wife, you know, you're a mouth to feed, you're gonna be a soldier. I'm not gonna be feeding you, right? I'm not gonna be feeding you no more. So and it's very representative of what I used to read books from like India. Like we had to in school. They made us read books from different cultures. And I chose this book about India. And it's a thing why the femicide rate is so high in places such as those is because a man is seen as something who can like bring wealth to the family. He carries the family name, etc. And a woman is kind of seen like a mouth to feed, like just a mouth to feed. Because if you think about it in their cultural way, okay, a man, you feed him, you take care of him, and then once he gets of age, someone's daughter basically gets given to him in cultures such as the one from the book I was reading. So if you think about it in that fucking mindset, your daughter is yours up until a certain point. So you're just funneling food and whatever and blah, blah, blah into this person who you're going to eventually give away and is gonna become a part of a different family. So that's why more value is put on the son, because the son will always be a part of your family and they will always carry your name. But your daughter, on the other hand, will eventually be married off to someone. So in the meantime, you're feeding something that's not going to be a part of your family in the future, basically. That's the way it was kind of explained in the book that I had to read. And I was like, Jesus Christ, this is horrid. And so I'm kind of attributing this to this African scenario. Even though the book was from India, I think it's kind of universal in the sense of cultures that operate in this way, right? Where the daughter is given away, arranged marriage, so on and so forth, stuff like that. So it doesn't work. And she, becomes a soldier, and she wanted to be a soldier, right? She was looking up at them with awe and whatever. And I just want to say that first original scene of, the warriors killing these men in this village, it was savage. And I was like, what the fuck is going on, right? But then you get these subsequent battles throughout the movie, and you're just like, yes, 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 eat, 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 eat. And it's something funny that I heard, I forgot who said it, but a YouTuber said that why in every Tyler Perry movie is the dark-skinned guy the like evil, like batshit crazy, like no good for nothing man, and then the light-skinned man, he's the savior. And it was just funny juxtaposing the love interest of our main character, the young girl, and the, for lack of better words, the assaulter who, inflicted this pain on our older main character, Viola Davis, right? He's dark-skinned and he's evil as all outdoors. And then our love interest is this tragic mulatto, right? It's great. It has all the tropes going. All of the tropes are literally going. And for that reason, it is one of those movies, right? I'm not saying a Tyler Perry movie, because Jesus Christ, absolutely not. Very much more, very less of a drama, quote drama, than a Tyler Perry movie, because this movie is serving plot, it's serving feels, it's serving a bigger purpose than like Diary of a Mad Black Woman, in my opinion. And so with The Woman King, I just felt like my soul was healed by the way that it ends. And I think I want to talk about that now before I forget kind of what I wanted to say. So in the ending, besides the twist, well, quote twist, we find out that from this tragic assault that happened to our older female main character, she had a baby. In this baby, she cut the back, she put a shark's tooth in the baby's skin, just in case one day the baby should find its way back to her. And then our supporting lead character, Viola Davis's like main girl, the tall, skinny one, love her character, love her look, love everything about her. She helped her deliver this baby, and she got rid of it, right? She gave it to missionaries. So we find out our main character, Viola Davis, she had a daughter, and her daughter is our main character. And it's just so wild how she's like, oh yeah, like once you join the warriors, distractions, fuck you up, they could get you killed, love, babies, anything could get you killed. So we'll mother no children, we will have no male love interest, yada 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 yada. And it's just interesting to see that once Viola Davis figures out that our younger female character is her daughter, she starts making these irrational decisions, right? Freeing the slaves at the port was so fucking irrational. It's not even like they were that outnumbered. And then they did also have the element of surprise, but Oh my gosh, it was such a rash decision. Like, but it was true. Like, love gets you fucked up. Love makes you do stupid types of shit, right? So when she finds out, hey, this is my daughter, immediately she like has this mother instinct turn on immediately. And it's just amazing because in the beginning of the film, if you pay attention, she kind of sees herself in I forgot her name. We're gonna call her Nami. I forgot her name. It was something like that. Nami. We're gonna call her Nami. I forgot her name. I'm so fucking sorry. Viola Davis's character, the Woman King, she sees herself in Nami, and everything she tells to Nami is just things that she, she's kind of saying to herself. She's like, "You're arrogant. You're gonna get yourself captured." And then we have that scene where Nami's like, "No, that would never happen to me. That happened to you, but it would never happen to me." It was like, damn, bitch. Like, that was ice cold. Why would you say that? But it was just good, proper foreshadowing to her being kidnapped. And it was great. I thought that was well done. And then we got the scene where I forgot everybody's name. Izazi? The girl who kind of trained Nami, who took a vested interest in Nami's growth and development, when her arm broke and she was in the cage with the other slaves, I was like, oh my God. I was like, and guys, I was in a theater full of Black people. So we were all watching the movie and all making comments on it together. And I fucking love when stuff like that happens. It just feels so good. Like, just as a community, we were all watching this movie and we're all like, oh my God, no. Oh my God, no. And then whenever the main characters would kill, like, obviously spoiler, but when Viola Davis's character kills the man who assaulted her, the entire theater started clapping. When Nami kills the guy who was about to kill Viola Davis's character, the whole theater started clapping. And that just made the experience so much better for me. I don't know, being in a like community of people who are all commenting on the movie as things progress and like, oh God, like shouting out like, oh no, like when something fucked up's about to happen or whatever. It just felt so fun. It just felt like such a community type of thing. I just loved it. So the bombshells where we found out that Nami was Viola Davis's daughter. We found out that, oh my God, there's this scene, I don't know if you guys picked up on it, but there's a scene where the king tells the mulatto, quote, heavy quotes, quote, mulatto, because I know that's seen as a slur to mixed people nowadays. So I'm not calling him that. That's just his fucking trope in the movie. That's his trope, the tragic mulatto. When his character is talking to the king, he's like, yeah, my mom was sold or whatever. And the king's like, oh, yeah, my mom was sold too, but they're gonna bring her back after she does some work, they're gonna bring her back. And that just reminds me of learning in history that, because I went to an all-white school, right? So in our history books, they kind of told us that the Europeans bought slaves from Africa. Like the people that were sold into slavery over here were already slaves in Africa. So basically Africans sold Europeans their slaves. But I remember, like reading up on it, and slavery in Africa was so much more different than slavery in Europe. Right? There was no chattel slavery in Africa. So when the king is like, yeah, my mom was sold over, she'll be back though. No, it don't work the same way. It don't work the same way. No. And then you meet these cruel white characters. The best friend of the, quote, I think his name was Malik. I think his name was Malik. We're gonna call him Malik from now on. So, another bombshell are, Nami has sex with Malik. Now, do I think it was earned? Maybe not. But a scene I found particularly triggering was the scene where, well, obviously, like, looking at the slaves in the cage, that was fucking triggering. It reminded me of fucking Roots. If you've seen that show, Roots, oh my God, it reminded me of Roots. It triggered me a lot. And then the scene where Iziz or whatever, the girl who took the vested interest in in Nami in the beginning, I'm fucking up her name so bad. It was like Namwe, Namie, something like that. Something African, something beautiful. Since I don't know what her name was, I'm just saying Nami. So he buys Nami to save her life. And then she has sex with him. She's like, what, do you owe me now? He's like, nah, I was just trying to save your life. But still, I don't know how I felt about it. Like, on one hand, they had this whole Pocahontas thing going on, right? She met him in the woods. She liked his cross necklace. He liked her skin, I guess. And he wanted to be more in touch with his roots because his mom was from there. Yada, yada, yada. You know, it was this cute little Pocahontas thing going on. And I was for it. I was all for it. I was like, yes. And then I thought it was gonna be some bullshit at the end where she chooses to go with him, right? Which she would be a fucking slave somewhere if she went with him, especially during the time period, right? Like if there was no her going with him, but I was scared at the same. I was like, girl, don't do it. Like at the same time, after he said, girl, he's like, no, you can't go out there in your clothes. They're bloody. Meaning her virginity. He took it. Boom. I don't know why in her clothes, but I fucking thought for a minute she's gonna go with him and then I'm gonna hate this movie. I thought that for like 1 second. I was like, absolutely not. The fact that just like the sisterhood in the movie, I think is what really like healed my soul. There was just this like theme of sisterhood. It just felt so good. And I know some annoying guy probably watched it and was like, this is anti-male. This is anti-male. They're just killing a bunch of men. And I only got that idea when in the theater, at a couple of the kills, the theater started clapping. And I was like, I bet there's some man in here like mad right now. I bet there's some man in the theater just upset. I don't think it's supposed to be taken like as some anti-male movie or some women empowerment movie. I mean, okay. Obviously, two things can be true at once. It's called The Woman King, for Christ's sakes. Of course, it's surface level women empowerment, but it's so much more than that. It's sisterhood. That's the overall message I got from it. I got this strong sense of sisterhood, right? Whenever one of the girls died, they prayed, they put the little thing on them, the little statue thing, and they prayed, and they all fought together, and they were like, we move as one. And then you know, the themes of motherhood, like as soon as she found out that Nami was her daughter, she was just like, we're gonna go save her. We're gonna go save her. I don't know. Like, and she defied the king. She's like, we're gonna go save her. And then you got these whispering ass bitches, the whispering wives. They were like, you're gonna look like a weak king if you just let her do what she wants. Like, shut up. Shut up. But there's always one like that, right? Instead of being a sisterhood, like all together, you know, here's our feminine sisters and here's our more, I guess, quote, if you want to say masculine sisters, our warriors. Y'all need to just work together. Y'all need to work together. But that wife was so fucking annoying. She's like, you're gonna think you're only king. Bitch, shut up. Shut up. The king can't fight like the women warriors, I bet. You know? Well, anyway, I think that's all I wanted to talk about. Like, how I fucking thought the end was gonna be like shit and I was gonna start screaming. But the end was so fucking beautiful. I teared up like 4 times. In the last 30 minutes, I teared up like 4 times. And then at the end, you know, those tears finally spilled. It was beautiful. It's beautiful. At first, you know, Nami can't accept the fact that she's her mom. She's like, yeah, you know, it wasn't your fault. What happened to me? I gave you up because I wasn't brave, you know, woo, woo, woo. And then she's like, but you're my daughter. And Nami starts crying. She's like, sorry. She runs away. And then at the end, she comes back. And she's like, want to dance with me, mother? It's just so good. And then that moment, the moment when Viola Davis's character is crowned the Woman King, I almost lost my fucking shit because of the intensity of the scene. The king's like, you defied me. And she's offering him the white man's sword, right? And I'm thinking he's gonna take the sword and execute her, right? That's how the scene was building up. Like, if you listen to the music in the scene, it's swelling. So it's like something's gonna fucking happen. Like the score starts swelling. And I'm like, oh my God, please. No. But, you know, we all know how it ended. She was crowned the Woman King. And that fucking bitch wife was like all salty. Like, bitch, fuck you. She literally saved your life. She literally saved your life. She saved the fucking dynasty and everything. Like, stop. Besides the obvious, like, amazingness of the choreography of the fight scenes, besides the amazing fight scenes, right? My favorite scenes were of them dancing, of them chanting. That was so fucking beautiful to me. I don't know. I just felt so spiritually connected to this movie, and I'm going to fucking buy it on DVD. And I'm so happy I decided to go watch it because it was so good. It was so good. So fucking good. Well, anyway, I think that's all I have to say about it. Yeah, that's all I have to say about it. Anyways, if you watched this video and you liked anything I had to say, make sure you comment. Make sure you tell me what you thought about this movie. Was there any part you liked? Was there any part you didn't like so much? Someone on Twitter sent me that the warriors that this movie is based off of, it's all false advertisement. And I didn't want to watch that video until I got my thoughts on the movie out because I didn't want any tainted views on anything. I just wanted to talk about the movie at face value from what I saw. But right when I'm finished filming this, I'm gonna watch that video and see if it changes my mind or anything, or like if it reduces the movie in any way. I don't know. I'll check it out after this. I'm done recording this. But that's all for me. Make sure you comment, like, and subscribe. Make sure you go to the fucking movie theaters, guys. I don't know why the fuck nobody be going to the movie theater no more. It'd be empty as fuck in there. But make sure you go to the theaters, especially to watch my man, Wakanda Forever. I cannot fucking wait. And I think I'm gonna make a whole fucking video about it. Probably right when I'm done recording this, about the trailer. Anyways, that is it for me. Comment, like, and subscribe. And goodbye. I rate this movie a 10 out of 10, by the way. Okay, now goodbye.